I'm surprised you recognise me, considering I've been dead for 105 years. For those of you who don't know, my name is Tom Morris. I'm born and bred St Andrew. I think we're all born with webbed feet in a golf club in our hand here. And I've played golf close on 80 years. And that's more than most folk get to live in. But I haven't introduced you to my caddy here. This is Bob Martin. Now, he's a registered club maker with me, and he's also one of my caddies on the old course. But more impressive than that, he's a double winner of the Open Championship at St Andrews. What years was that, Bob?
1876 and 1885, sir.
Hey, imagine that, eh? So that shows how little money there was for us in these early days, eh? You know, at one point in the 1880s, I had 4 Open Champions registered out of the 19 regular caddies, eh? No, we just had to make do in these early days. As you can see, Bob's carrying my clubs in the traditional tradition, just tucked under your arm and ready to play. These are the clubs I would have used in my prime. Wow. Of course, that was the 1840s and the 1850s. By the time what you'd call the first Open Championship came around, I was what you would say past my sell-by date. But I still managed to win 4 of them, eh? Of course, as did my son Tommy. These are the clubs, eh? Play club, that's your driver. A long spoon, a short spoon, a baffy, a rutting iron, a cleek, and of course my putter. You know, I started my career as a... Take these, Bob, I'll hang on to one of them here. I started my career as a feather golf ball maker. I was born in St Andrews in 1821. Eh? Of course, the town was in a poor state by that time, you know, when you think of St Andrews, the ecclesiastical capital of Scotland, the first seat of learning, a walled city that you needed a pass to enter in the 15th, 14th, and even the 13th century. Eh? Now, the Reformation didn't just tear the heart out of Scotland. It bankrupted St Andrews, and we lay dormant, you know, for nearly 350 years. What was the population when I was born, Bob? It must have been about 1800, eh?
No many more, sir.
No many more. The whole town was in a bad way. There was even an act of Parliament to move the university to Perth. Such was the state. So, of course, all these years that I've lived through, I've seen the whole town build and prosper again. Still a pilgrim city, just changed its tack, now the home of golf. Eh? I say I've lived through every aspect. I say I started my career as a feather golf ball maker with Alan Robertson, just in a wee cottage. That was the only thing that was up there, behind where the 18th green is now. This is Alan's driver, he called it the Doctor. Look at the waggle on that, eh? Right? You see how he's put a leather facing in it to protect it. In the advent of the feather ball to the gutter ball in 1849. Of course, on a good day, I could maybe make 2 of these feather balls. In a good year, we maybe made about 2,000. And these were distributed all around Britain. So that gives you an idea how few people were actually playing the game, eh? St Andrews is the metropolis of golf in the 17th, 18th century, and really just a game for the gentry, people who had inherent wealth or leisure time. I can still smell the leather and feel the heat of that ball, you know. You know, I used to use a chest clamp to compress and push these feathers into that ball. Eh? Of course, it was stitched from the inside out, you see, and then you boiled up a measure of fine goose down, and that was when you pushed and pressed these feathers into that ball. Of course, it was half a crown, you see, at that time. That was half of a man's weekly wage. Oh, only so much the price of the ball. Maybe on a bad day, you had to give your gentleman 4 or 5 of them to ensure that you actually got round the course. So it was a great breakthrough, this newfangled ball, the gutter ball. Eh? Simple idea too, just a bit of Malaysian sap rubbers. It reacted to heat, you see, so you cut it into strips. You immersed it in a bucket of hot water, you took it out, and then you just hand rolled it out. Of course, that changed everything, you see. That, and of course, the trains linking up the Linksland. So suddenly, 1849, the course is accessible and the ball's affordable. And off it goes again, eh? We Alan's play club again. You know, Alan and I, we played foursomes together. 2-ball foursomes, that was the main game. And I say with all the trains linking up the Linksland, you wouldn't believe we had up to 10,000 people joining our games at Musselburgh, or North Berwick and St Andrews. Great matches against the Park brothers of Musselburgh, or the Duns of North Berwick. And we were never beaten from 1842 up until Alan's untimely death in 1859. You know, Alan was the first man to break 80 on the old course in 1858. Now that was considered miraculous. You know, I never broke 80 on the old course, but I was still hitting 80, around about 80, up until my 80th year. So that shows you how sociable the course had become.